don't let your haters push you down. Let your haters push you forward to the next level. So when people show you who they really are, don't perceive them to be something else that they're not. See, a zebra does not change his stripes. So you gotta keep pushing yourself to the next level. Yeah, there you go. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Go a little further. Go a little further. Come on. Don't stop. Come on. Yeah. Reach a little higher. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper. Go a little further. Go a little further. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got to understand the greatness is the nature that you were born out of. All right. Welcoming you back. Those of you who are on Facebook, hopefully you're coming back through. More about who you are and what you expect for yourself. And greatness will always attract greatness. Show me your friends and I'll show you the future. The future. You just a step away. You just a step away. Woo, boy, I tell you. Come on. You just a step away. Trying to get content out. And the censors are all up in the spot blocking stuff. I rebuke y'all in the name of Jesus. You can go where you want to go. It's all in the power of your all of y'all. You can see the invisible. You can do the impossible. So stretch yourself. Take yourself to the next level. Come on. Come on. Come on. Reach a little higher. Reach a little higher. Dig a little deeper. Hey, baby girl, I see you. Trying to get my audience back. Facebook be tripping. There's a blessing waiting on you. Blessings are coming your way. Go a little further. Don't stop. You gotta reach. Don't stop. Get your dream. Until you get your dream. Come on. All right. Don't stop. Get your dream. Come on. Hopefully we'll be all right. Don't stop. Come on. I look in the mirror and I like what I see. A strong, beautiful black woman staring back at me. One who's seen a lot of pain and had her share of sorrow, but who never gave up hope for a brighter tomorrow. Yes. I've been lied to, cheated on, stolen from and hate, but it just made me stronger. And I refuse to quit. That's right. And though I've been tempted, I refuse to stoop to. Is that a little blurry, y'all? Do I need to wipe that off? Let me see. Sorry about this. Hopefully that's better. Power that says I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me and brought me out of darkness. Oh yeah. So that I could see. Oh yeah, much better. I'm smart. I'm beautiful. I'm a child of the King. Abundant love for me. He came to Green. Oh yes. When I look in the mirror, I love what I see. That strong, beautiful black woman. That woman is me. I'm not a woman, but you know, y'all get it. That's my big sister. .7 WTCC. Oh man, I tell you, Facebook is a monster, boy. They just be messing with your boy, stopping me in midstream, cutting my audience off, all that. I get it. I understand. Y'all don't want to hear what a brother got to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Good to be back in the studio after 2.5 years. 90.7 WTCC, the Black Love Experience. Shout out
to former state rep Ben Swan, and to all of you all in the Pioneer Valley and beyond, y'all who are tuning in via the World Wide Web. 736-2781. I know y'all used to the other number, but I'm not in the man cave anymore. I'm back in the studio here at the top of the hill. One Armory Square, Swingfield, in the field, Massachusetts. We in here. We're in here. I see y'all on Instagram. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me know where you're chiming in from. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So let me tell y'all what's happening. All right. Let me tell y'all what is happening. Oh, man. 413-736-2781. If you're in the Twitter space, put your request in. So y'all know what happened. So the Washington Post, they put out an article because this photo was unearthed of Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, standing on the steps of North Little Rock High School in 1957, blocking black students from entering the school. They were trying to integrate. During that time, he was one of the ones standing on the steps, blocking black students. Palm Beach in the house. Batesville, Mississippi in the house. Houston, Texas is up in the building. Rep your city, rep your town. Let me get my chat popping over here on the other side. Let me know where you're coming in from. I see you, Houston, over here as well. Cincinnati is in the house. Chicago is in the house. Come on, rep your city, rep your town. Hong Kong is in here. Greensboro, North Carolina, North Kakalaki. Metro Atlanta is over here on the gram. Welcome to every one of you from wherever you're chiming in from. So the article comes out, and of course, most people's response is, we are not at all surprised. You know, Jerry Jones, you mean the Jerry Jones that was talking smack about Colin Kaepernick kneeling to protest injustice, the extrajudicial murder of black people and police brutality and all that? That Jerry Jones, the Jerry Jones who has never hired a black coach or anybody black of substance in the upper management of his organization, that Jerry Jones, the Jerry Jones that supports Donald Trump, that Jerry Jones, we were not at all surprised to find out that when he grew up in Arkansas, that he was a young racist segregationist. That didn't surprise any of us. Okay? But of course, having that photo, just affirmed what we already felt about Jerry Jones. Miami, Florida in the house. TZ, I don't know what TZ is. Tanzania, I don't know. Assad from Iran is in the house. Connecticut is in the building. Rep your city, rep your town. So, he was just who he is. And we weren't surprised. So the conversations start going out. I see Wichita, Kansas in here, Massachusetts, of course, Mike. Rochester is in the building. So when the conversations about this thing with Jerry Jones is going around, Stephen A. Smith, Screaming A. Smith. What's up, Cincinnati? He comes out, puts on his Superman cape, and caps for Jerry Jones. Matter of fact, he even goes so far as to say, I'm pissed off. And not for the reasons you would expect. And what was he pissed off about? He was pissed off because he says Jerry Jones doesn't deserve this. Y'all gonna go back and get a picture from 60 years ago and use that to slander this man. And of course, he got dragged, and rightfully so. It's like, dude, you should have just kept your mouth shut. But you're going to go on your show in front of millions of people and cape for Jerry Jones. But he prefaced it all by saying, I'm very fond of Jerry Jones. I just want y'all to know that. Francesca, I'm trying to sound like him. I'm very fond of Jerry Jones. And I'm not ashamed of that. And what y'all doing to him, that's not right. So, you know, those of us who speak out in the public sphere, we called him out for being the Sambo, Uncle Tom, boot-licking coon that he is. I know y'all didn't expect all that. Bishop Swan, oh my God. Yeah, we called him out. And I had a little fun with it. You know, I'm a little petty. Those of you who follow me on social media, you know I can be petty. You know, I can be Petty LaBelle. You know, it's all in jest, it's in fun. You know, so you know, I put up a post with on one side of the post, it's a picture of a can, and on the other side of the post, it's a picture of Stephen A. Smith. And I said, let's play trivia. Can you guess this popular vacation spot? And most people understood that it stood for Cancun. Oh boy. But that's not the one. That's not the one that caused the controversy. The one that caused the controversy. I see you, Frat Haywood. Ow. The one that caused the controversy, I put up a post of an animated video of dancing raccoons, and they were dancing to the song by Instrumentals, "Look at the Coons." And I didn't put any caption. I just put that video up, and I quote tweeted Stephen A. Smith caping for Jerry Jones. All right, caping for Jerry Jones. And what caused the controversy was the fact that let me try to do something here. I may put up the other number just for those of you who are used to it. What caused the controversy was Mark Jones, sportscaster for ESPN, also for the Sacramento Kings, play-by-play for the Sacramento Kings. He follows me on Twitter. We follow each other, and we've interacted on numerous occasions. He liked my tweet. So one of these right-wing publications called him up and wanted a comment on him liking my tweet. And basically, he didn't respond, and he unliked the tweet. But they had screenshot it, and they screenshot it and then wrote an article. Not only did they write an article, Fox News wrote an article, the Sacramento Bee wrote an article. Matter of fact, just publications all over America wrote articles. They did YouTube videos, the whole nine, about Mark Jones liking my tweet, insinuating that his colleague at ESPN was a coon for caping for Jerry Jones. So he's been under fire for liking a tweet. Yeah, Uh, yeah. And of course, they tried to come for me, but I don't care. I don't work for ESPN. Y'all can't fire me. Okay? I'm a free black man. You can't take no contracts. You can't fire me. You can't do none of stuff. So I don't need to unlike stuff. I don't need to remove stuff. I don't need to come out and apologize and all of that kind of stuff. Um, so uh, so Mark is under some hot water behind it. Stephen A. Smith comes back and says, "I'm going to address all of you on my podcast. Y'all are all talking about me. Y'all all got something to say. Well, I got something to say too. I'm going to address it on my podcast." And then he gets on his podcast on Wednesday and puts his Superman cape back on and does some more caping for Jerry Jones, justifying the caping he was doing before. And here's the thing that gets me. Let me hurry, speed this along and get to the real point I want to make. They're trying to say that because Jerry Jones was 14 at the time, 14 or 15, he shouldn't be held accountable. That was 60-something years ago. He was 14 or 15. How many people have changed? Yada, 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 yada. Okay, well, when his life and his record all the way into his late 70s say that he's still a racist, why are you caping for this guy? I mean, him standing on that steps blocking black children is completely logical. And for Stephen A. Smith and for any of the rest of y'all to sit up here and pretend that it's impossible for young white kids to be racist, that's ridiculous. Because let's just keep it a buck. White children, many of them, are indoctrinated into their parents' racism from the time they're born. And I've been methodically pulling out the history on this over the past week. The KKK had a youth division, young youth leaders. You had kids that were 5 years old wearing Klan hoods, being indoctrinated. I put up a post. Go to my IG. You can follow me on all social media at Talbert Swan. And I put up one of young white kids. One of the little kids who's throwing around the N-word like it's water has to be no more than 6 years old, chasing black kids. And this isn't in Arkansas. This isn't in the South. This was in Queens, New York. This is 76, 20 years after Jerry Jones stood on those steps in the Deep South. They're chasing black kids because they didn't want their neighborhood, their all-white neighborhood in Rosedale, Queens, integrated. So they're throwing around the N-word, calling them, "Oh, get out of here, N-words." They're running down the street saying, "White power, white resistance." And all of these kids are between the age of 6 and 16. Going to bully the black children out of the neighborhood. And y'all want to sit here and pretend that because Jerry Jones was 14, he was oblivious to what was going on in the Deep South, in the segregated Jim Crow South. Like he didn't hear that these black kids were coming to integrate the school when his coach told them what was going on and told him he didn't want them involved in it, and he came out to be involved in it anyway. Y'all want to pretend, oh, he was just an innocent bystander. He was just standing there looking. Standing and looking doesn't make you innocent. You didn't ask what happened before that picture was taken or after, like you do when we show you a video of police murdering black people. Oh, I want to know what happened before that. You didn't ask that on the Jerry Jones photo, did you? Because we know what happened after that. The white kids bullied them and pushed them down the steps and got into a fight with them. Was Jerry involved in that, or was he just curiously standing there? We don't know. But we do know what happened. We know that 2 weeks later, 2 miles down the road, at Central High School in Little Rock, the Little Rock Nine went to desegregate that high school, and they were blocked. And they had to get the National Guard to walk in with them. This was the time that they were living in. Jerry Jones knew exactly what was going on when he was standing on those steps. I've got a son that's 15. I've got a granddaughter that's 14. They're not oblivious to what's going on in the world around them. Y'all trying to sit here and pretend that Jerry Jones was oblivious to the racism in the South, in his family, among his friends, among those he lived with, among those he went to school with. I'm sure he sat in many conversations with his fellow students, throwing around the N-word. I'm sure he used it as well. Y'all, come on, stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Y'all ought to go to my Instagram and listen to these young white kids tossing around that N-word. I mean, young kids telling these black kids to get out of their neighborhood. And that's just one example. There are many, many, many examples of this that have happened in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, in the 2000s, currently in the 2020s. You can go to TikTok and Instagram and all of these places, and you can find videos of young white kids and their racism. And for y'all to sit here and pretend it was impossible for Jerry Jones to have been involved in blocking these black students, y'all are playing us for stupid, and we're not stupid. Okay, we're definitely not stupid. 413 man, I'm giving you the wrong number. 413, I was doing so good. 413-736-2781. Let me get Amia Hampton in the Twitter space. This is going to be different since I'm not in the man cave. I haven't done this in the studio yet, but we're going to try it. Amia, unmute your microphone. You're up in the Twitter space. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
I'm good. You?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting over a cold, but I am so glad you brought it down to this level because I don't really get into sports. So I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, let's lay blame where it needs to be blamed. I'm sorry, my mic was mute.
Go ahead.
Sorry, where it needs to be laid. Let's lay the blame on these white cracker ass cunts. And
Whoa. Okay, Amia, I feel you. We on Twitter, but I'm also live over the air. So just tone that down just a little bit.
Okay. So
That's right.
These cracker ass women that are birthing these cracker ass boys, these cracker ass girls that come up and think that racism is the thing to do. Why do we still have a Buffalo massacre and a Charleston massacre? Let's lay the blame there. It's these fuck ass bitch ass parents.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Amia. You can't do that. I'm on the air, baby girl. I'm on the air. I'm live over the air. I got FCC regulations, all that kind of stuff. Children are listening. This is a family radio station. Now, when I'm live on the Twitter space and I'm not on the air, then you can feel free to express your passion. But trust me, I feel you. I feel you. I mean, the reality is, um, and I see where she's going with it. White women birth and raise these folks. You know, it is what it is. And every year, 58, 60% of white women vote for whoever the white supremacist that is running for office is, or whoever is the tool of white supremacy. It's white women that are that are the reason there's a runoff in Georgia right now, because they voted in droves for Herschel Walker because they know he's a tool of white supremacy. I feel you. I just we just can't have that level of conversation while I'm live on the radio, Amir. 413-736-2781. Mike Martin said, oh my. Oh my goodness. It's never a dull moment when I'm on the radio with you guys. Never a dull moment. But yeah, let's just be realistic. I mean, and see, this is the whole reason why this disingenuous narrative that is being parroted around the Jerry Jones thing, man, y'all gotta stop it. That's one of the reasons why they're trying to stop teaching American history in our schools. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. I think I got my caller on. Caller, you're on the air. All right, my caller don't want to say nothing to me. All right, I'm trying to get you on the air, but all right, 413-736-2781. Let's try it again. If you want to call into the program, we'll see if we can get you up over the air. Let's try it again. Good morning, caller. Yes, sir.
Yes, how you doing? Yes, I follow you a lot on Instagram. And, I'm definitely going to say, I'm not going to go to that language with the young lady was saying.
Uh-huh.
But I think part of the problem is that it's not only white women, but you also have some people in that group that are, like you said, that will put on the Superman cape, the Superman white cape, and basically cape for white supremacy. That's something that I don't understand.
A lot of them, and that's what Stephen A. Smith was doing. That's what a number of prominent. See, the issue is you got prominent black folk that have a large platform that jump on the bandwagon and apologize for white supremacy.
Yeah, and that's something Malcolm talked about in his book. And I don't know if a lot of people read Malcolm, but he talks about that. You have, it's basically a dog whistle. Oh, okay, let's go save Master. It's like, come on. And this is why I said many times on your page that I'm not saying a physical civil war, but we need to separate those who's for the cause for those who are, how can I say, pro-intel, pro-black. That's coming in there and selling out. That's what we need to do.
All right. Appreciate you. Thank you. 413-736-2781. 413-736-2781. For those of you who want to chime in on the conversation. You know what? I need to play my guy. I need to play my man. I need to play my man Freddie Haynes, who had something to say about this whole thing. And of course, Freddie always keeps it real. Those of you all will remember him. I've had him here in the city speaking for me on more than one occasion. But he addressed the Jerry Jones, and he lives in Dallas. He has consistently addressed the racism of Jerry Jones, but he threw Stephen A. in the mix. Let's hear this. Listen to my man Freddie. Let me see if I can get him on here.
In Arkansas, traumatized black kids, and I decided to just stand there out of curiosity instead of getting involved and making a difference in their situation. I know I'm about to upset all my Cowboy fans, but the real test of your privilege is how you use your privilege for those who do not have privileges. The real test of what God has blessed you with is how you use your blessing for those who are broken. And one person decided, and y'all, I know Stephen A. felt, I got to get up and I got to speak up for Master Jerry. I got to defend Jerry. Now, what got me upset was not that he just defended Jerry. He said, I'm ticked off about what was done to Jerry, but he wasn't ticked off about what Jerry stood by and watched. Why weren't you ticked off about that insufferable scene? Why weren't you ticked off about what happened to those black students who some are still living today? You're not ticked off about that. Are you ticked off about the fact that not one black coach has been hired by Jerry Jones during his tenure? Because, okay, I won't hold you accountable for what you did back then, even though you would hold me accountable if it was me living back then. But see, it's one set of rules for Jerry and another set of rules for Freddie. I recognize that.
Well. Now y'all go follow my man Freddie Haynes, FH Unscripted, Freddie Haynes Unscripted, FH Unscripted. Follow him on the gram and on Twitter. He's always dropping jewels, and you know he's a bold, uncompromising preacher. And you need to hear exactly what he has to say about this subject and so many other subjects that he's just dead on point with. I mean, and of course, so Stephen A. basically is coming out saying, you know, all of you black people who are out here, you know, there's no proof. There's no proof that he's a racist. There's no proof that he was involved in blocking the students from the steps. There's no proof. Man, shut up. There's a book out. I couldn't find my copy. I was looking for it yesterday. So I downloaded the electronic copy. It's called Without Sanctuary. It is a pictorial history of lynchings in America. And in many of those pictures of lynchings of black men and women in America, you will see white folks, old and young, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 13, 16 years old, standing and posing in the pictures. They used to make postcards out of pictures of burnt black bodies or black bodies hanging from trees, little white kids roasting marshmallows by the fire at these lynchings. There's a whole pictorial history of this. And so by Stephen A. Smith's logic, because Jerry was standing there in the picture, we don't know what he did. We don't know. We can't say he knew what was going on. So you mean to tell me all these young white kids, I put some up on my Twitter page, you mean these white kids that were standing with the black bodies hanging from the tree, they didn't know what was going on either? Because they were young? Because they were 14, 13, 12, 17? They were oblivious to what was to the black body swinging from the tree. They had no idea. They was just curious. Come on, man. Stop playing with our intelligence. Stop playing with our intelligence. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
It's a blessing to hear you again.
Yes, sir.
You're talking about the black people that were hung down south. My father was raised in the South in the 30s. And he's seen his uncle hang, and they couldn't cut him down for 3 days. He had to hang there for 3 days. Uncle.
Or else they would have done something to them if they cut him down.
Exactly. So he had to hang there for 3 days. And that's the reason why my father would not step foot in Mississippi up until he died.
Well, you know, my family is from Mississippi. My father's side of the family is from Mississippi. Several of my great uncles, my grandmother's brothers, were lynched in the South. Most of us whose families come from the South have that experience. And young white folks were involved in it. And to pretend, and I'm not saying Jerry lynched anybody, but he could have, you know. I mean, it ain't like white folks didn't get away with lynching black folk. Jerry could have very well been involved in some lynchings in the South. We don't know. We don't know that either, Stephen A. Okay. But to pretend that because he was 14, that means he was innocent is completely ridiculous. All right. Mel Cruz, you're in the Twitter space.
Yeah, good morning, Bishop. Looking good. Thanks for letting me up.
Absolutely.
Speak. I definitely want to shout out Amina for her commentary, even though, you know, there's some regulations on it, but
yeah,
she's making an extremely good point. And what else is important is, you know, the white people, white women in particular,
mm-hmm.
you're sitting in the audience right now is where, if you agree with the perspective that we're coming from, this is where they need to begin vocalizing, as opposed to just sitting by and yet again being an observer.
Yeah.
Because when anytime something jumps off, their voices are silent. Where are they? If you disagree with the Jerry Jones situation and in your mind, white people, you can't fathom that at 14 and the facial expression on Jerry's face in that photo, it's more than curiosity why he's there.
Yeah.
And so can we just please ask you to be realistic?
Thank you.
And acknowledge. And then, Bishop, you made some excellent points by stating that at that age, you didn't state this part. I'm just going to enhance it. At that age, you might have had some experience with uttering the word that starts with an N.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did. I can't imagine a 14-year-old white boy growing up 1950s in Arkansas with privilege that hangs around with racist kids that try to block. Even if he was so-called innocent, he was hanging around with the kids that were trying to block them. So no way in the world he wasn't throwing that. I'm sure he throws it around now at 80.
Maybe so. And maybe you might be kicking back on a good holiday weekend, you know, reminiscent. But my point is for the media to come back and then try to throw this, he was just curious. Please stop.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. And this might be a little bit off the segue, but just like with LeBron James and the statement he made about why he wasn't questioned about his thoughts on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Stephen A. Smith and Roly Poly. They all of a sudden want to get together on the little podcast. And now they're using the vernacular like, what's up, brother? Brother, what's tea? What's going on? But you know what? I realized that
that's the butter biscuit twins.
Butter biscuits like the mud. And my point is with Roly, of course he's going to take that situation that LeBron, his position, and try to manipulate it into, well, yeah, see, we do have to hold the media accountable. Roly, you are still mad about the way mainstream media treated you. So
well, first of all, let's just keep it buck. And I know I'm going off the beaten path on this. Let's keep it a buck with Roly Poly, okay? Mm-hmm. The reason Roly is on YouTube, okay? Roly violated ethical standards when he was involved when he was at TV One, and they were partnering with CNN. To host the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Rodham Clinton. Roly Poly leaked the questions to Donna Brazile, who leaked it to the Hillary Clinton camp. And that's the reason why Roly Poly's not with TV One and Donna Brazile's no longer with CNN. So let's just keep it a buck on why he wound up on YouTube.
Exactly. And so now what he wants to do is take this opportunity. And this is what makes it horrible, because you're not even speaking on it, Roly, because of the nature of the complaint. You're using this to try to segue and make media, mainstream media, look bad and say, see, media, they need to correct themselves. No, just get out of the entire conversation, Roland. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Jerry Jones was more than curious. He may have a high level of expertise when it comes to all of these type of shenanigans, and people need to acknowledge it, as white people in particular, as opposed to just sitting back and just watching the events.
Absolutely.
Speak up. If you're down with Black people and are concerned about this particular issue, and you are not Black, you need to voice your agreement with our perspective.
Preach. And I'll pass the offering plate on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right. 413-736-2781. 7 minutes left in the program. Let me see if I can get some more folk up here in the space. Brother Muko, I think that's what your handle is. You're in the Twitter space. Holler at your boy.
Hey, how you doing, Bishop, this morning? How y'all feeling in this space?
Good. How you doing?
All right. I was just going to mention the book, Without Sanctuary. I was just talking about
it. Somebody just asked me what the name of it again. Yes, Without Sanctuary.
Exactly. I get this book for each of my children when they turn 15, so they know what type of playing field they playing on with these white supremacists. But one thing I want to see is us start looking for these individuals in these books.
Yes.
You made a real good point, man.
Yes.
They were young, and they're still alive. And they were accessories to murder.
And think about that. I used the example the other day. There was a woman last year. Two things happened significant last year. I can't remember the woman's name in Germany, but there was a woman in Germany who was 18 when she was the secretary at a Nazi death camp. They tried her for Nazi war crimes, and she was 97 years old. They're not playing. They're hunting you down. They don't care how old you are. They tried her. Exactly. They tried her for Nazi war crimes. Conversely, last year in America, a grand jury refused to indict Carolyn Bryant Dunham, who lied and caused the lynching of Emmett Till. Not only did she cause him to be lynched, she lied on the witness stand to help free his murderers, her husband and her brother-in-law. And then she admitted that she lied, but they won't prosecute her. And you're right. A lot of these people who you see on these postcards standing next to black bodies swinging from trees and stuff are old and decrepit, but they're still alive, and they need to be hunted down and prosecuted for murder.
Absolutely. To every fine tooth for the law. I end right there.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. Because if I was in a picture with a body of a white boy hanging from a tree, you wouldn't hesitate to hunt me down. Untouchable J, my man from Connecticut, let me get you up in here. Untouchable J, you're in the space. Holla at your boy.
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning. Hailing from the great state of Connecticut. I'll just keep it very brief. I know you got to go. Stephen A. Smith thought he was trying to be objective. What he failed to realize, first objectivity would be requiring Jerry Jones to come out and say something first.
Thank you.
First thing he should have said, hey, Jerry, you need to open your mouth. Because the sitting quiet, sitting on the back stoop step that they've done for many years, because Jerry's just going to try to let it go under the bridge.
Yeah.
If something else will happen, so, Kanye's still trending. So something else will happen, and then it'll just, how we've seen it a million times in the media. It goes down, it loses a degree, and then it ain't even hot no more. where he came buck dancing for him. And the reality is, like you said, he was there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If my son did it, I would say, why the hell are you sitting there doing that?
Exactly. At the very least, even if you're going to call yourself being objective, you're going to at least say, you're going to first do the research, which you would have known that his coach, Jerry even admitted, I was worried about being in trouble with my coach. His coach told them there was going to be trouble, and for you football players not to be out there. All right. So he knew something was going down and was there anyway.
Absolutely. And he knew what he was doing there. And here we are paying the price. If they can bring up alleged nonsense that Bill Cosby allegedly did for less time than this in the 70s, then this needs to come to the forefront too. So Jerry Jones, you need to be at the pulpit and say what's on your mind. I'll land there. Thanks, Bishop. God
All right.
bless.
Appreciate you, sir. 413-736-2781. 2 minutes left. Oh, man, the time went so fast. Mid-Morning Jazz is coming up next here on WTCC. I'll be back with you all on Monday at 9 o'clock on the spoken word. We'll continue this conversation because we just didn't have enough time to really delve into it the way I wanted to. And of course, Facebook was playing games with my feed and all that kind of stuff. Listen, if you're looking for a place to worship, you're here in the 413. Check us out at the Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ. We're at 35 Alden Street, the Brick Church, right there at 6 Corners down the street from Springfield College. And we have service every Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. Prayer, praise, and preaching is going on in the building. So you want to be a part of that experience. And we're also streaming live for those of you who are not in the 413 on our church's Facebook page, Spring of Hope Church of God in Christ. Would love for you to be a part of that worship experience. Be back in the studio. I'm getting used to it now. I think it's somewhat like, I guess, like riding a bike. Although it's been 2.5 years since I've been here in the studio, I think I got the hang of it again. So we'll be back here. I got to get up earlier, y'all. I used to just walk down from the man cave, literally from my bedroom, go down to the kitchen, make me some tea, walk downstairs to the man cave, fire up the computer, and bam, I was broadcasting. Now I got to get up and fight the traffic with the school buses and all that stuff to get back over here to the radio station. But I did that for 20 years here. So, hey, it is what it is. We're back in the saddle here on WTCC. Listen, it's always a pleasure being with you all. And until the next time I talk to you and you talk to me, always remember, God loves you. So do I. I'm out. Deuces. Good morning. I'm good. How you doing? All right, Instagram. See y'all later.